Interesting how they do this now. I haven't used YouTube in so long that my hair is crazy. I just took the clips out of it. So my hair has a mind of its own and it is really, really long and nuts, as you can see. So I'm going to look, I'm going to have these goofy flyaways. I'm also dealing with new equipment, so bear with me. All right. You may have noticed that I have changed the name of the channel like I said I would. The new name is The Way of Being, which is added a little bit of a description that says the way of being, mirror of one. It may change again, but I don't know. Trust me, it was very challenging for me to come up with a new name. It was very hard. So, um, anyways, I was supposed to do this quite some time ago. 3 weeks has gone by like it's nothing. And this seems to be the norm right now. So, anyways, I didn't do any pre setup for this or anything like that. I do have some notes. I did say that I would be coming on a more regular basis to create YouTube videos again. And I am going to be doing that. Um, my hair is being really weird. Of course it would be, right? Just, it's like me, it's wild and crazy and has a mind of its own. But anyways, it's just because I'm looking at myself and I have to fidget with things. It's just the nature of who I am. So we'll just get on with it because this isn't about my hair. This is about us. So anyways, let me just breathe real quick and become kind of present and focused here because there is a definite reason for the focus, for the frequency that I have in my heart today. All right, so I can feel these things trying to get in the way. And it's interesting because the whole focus of this channel now is going to be about the, the idea of being in the present moment, the magic of the now. And this is what I will be speaking about and sharing in my journey with you. So it's interesting to me that in this moment, I'm feeling things that are trying to pull me away from being present right now in this now moment. So very, very interesting. And I'm just recognizing it. I'm just observing it. So I do have something I wanted to share today. I have seen a lot of different information. Oh, hello, Sharon. Nice to see you. Could you do me a favor? Could you let me know, is the sound coming through okay? Because I'm using this new little mic system that I bought for my phone, and I've only used it once before and it didn't work so great, but I've reset up my system now and I'm hoping that it comes through. So if you could just confirm for me that the sound is coming through okay, that would be great. I appreciate it. So today, what I'm just going to be bringing forward is the truth of creation and embodiment and what's happening in this now moment. It's okay. Thank you, Sharon. Appreciate you. The truth of this moment that we're in right now. I don't know about the rest of you, but today is specific for me because it's the 13th. And I follow the galactic calendar. I do not follow the Gregorian calendar anymore. I do it for purposes of work and keeping scheduled appointments and that sort of thing. But the true calendar that I follow, and I've been doing it for about 4 years, I think now, is the galactic calendar. And today is the last day of a wave spell. If you want to know what that means, just go look it up, go order one. They're amazing. They have infused my spiritual journey with so much joy and so much potency. I recommend it for everyone. So thanks. Talk about your father. That's an interesting statement. It's interesting that you would say that because concepts like father and mother and Holy Spirit and source and creator and oneness, those are all the things that I'm going to be discussing on this channel. But today is specifically about embodiment in consciousness and heart. I have been seeing a lot through social media platforms of information of all types of different types of spiritual isms that have come forward. And I'm sure you're seeing the same thing too. It's nothing new, right? But what I want to address today is this moment that we're in now, right now, this very moment. It is truly the only moment that's real. It's the only moment that exists. And this is kind of the thing I'm going to be discussing on the channel. And you'll notice, once again, I would say that, oh, who created God? I can see there's going to be a lot of interesting questions today, and I will get to them because I am willing to answer any questions. You already know who created God, by the way. That's one thing that you'll hear a lot here is that you already know, because you do, right here. It's always about 6 to 8 inches below your chin. Everything is. Every single thing is within you. So you already know, but we can definitely dive into it together because collectively as humans, that's what we do. That's what we're doing here in this beautiful story that we're co-creating. Okay, because you hear a lot about oneness. You hear about unity consciousness. You hear about these types of formats, especially now that spirituality has become a trend. And it has, and that's beautiful. Everything's as it should be. So, hi, everyone. I'm just saying hi to the people that are in the room. It's good to see you. I'm grateful that you're here. But what I'm trying to bring forward is this notion of one thing versus the other, light versus dark. Does it serve you or does it not serve you? Is a person worthy of your frequency or do you need to withdraw? Healing versus being whole. All these different things that are in the spiritual community. And let me make sure that you understand that everything in the sphere of what you see is perfect. Now, I know that that's a big thing to say because we can cherry pick things out and say, this isn't perfect and that isn't perfect. We're talking about human judgment of the co-created story. And what I'm going to try to do is create a little bit of a separation between the two so you can begin to see with the totality of what oneness is about. And it's not what a lot of information out there is saying that it's about. Oneness is vast, it's rich, and it's every experience that can possibly occur in every limitless way that there is. So to say that oneness is this state of being that, oh, and I forgot to turn off my notifications. I always forget to do that. Sometimes that's okay though, because it's like a confirmation, which is really cool, because what I'm speaking about is important. That oneness is everything, and that everything is perfect. The Mayan calendar states very clearly on one of the energetic days, I can't remember which, I go through them all the time, but that everything is perfect simply because it is manifest. If the miracle of a waveform collapsing into something solid in our Earth story has occurred, regardless of what it is, it's perfect. And anything that seems to be an adversary is actually beneficial to you. You've heard the statement that all things happen for me, not to me. Well, this is a journey of getting to a place in the presence of your own frequency, your own I am, your own now moment, where these things start to appear in truth and in clarity for you. Because this is the now moment. That's where the magic is right now. And this beautiful journey that we're all on. The magic is remembering, not learning, remembering how to be present in the now moment. And this is the magical, alchemical transmutation key to everything. There is an enchantment, there is a portal when you are present in the now moment and you see everything as manifest perfect. Now, I know, believe me, I know, because I've walked through this and I'll probably walk through it again. I still hit moments where I question myself, but I always come to the same awareness of the truth. So we are in a particularly incredible energetic time. And I want to talk about that too, because what a lot of people are not recognizing and seeing is what we've done as a collective, what we have done as representations and fractals of Source Creator thus far. For eons, we've been doing this. And it started from origin. We are now circling around in radial time, not linear time, right to the vortex, the center of that space. The in-between of the eternity symbol, which is basically just a circle, that if you twist a circle and do that, it becomes an infinity symbol. It's literally a circle that never ever stops and never starts. But we have created a duality by creating a mirror, which is another thing. That's why I renamed the channel, The Way of Being, the Mirror of One. We created that little twist where we could see each other for the engagement and the So we're looking for the expression one to the other. God giving love to God's self. This all started with one heart. One heart, the way of being. And we're going to talk about that too. But we're in a time frame right now that's really important. This is the biggest thing I want to share today with people, is that it's really important that we understand the time frame that we're in. We're in the release of the arrow. We're in that inertia. The one, creator source, God, whatever you would like to call it, Ein Sof, by Hermetic philosophy, the ultimate being is called the Ein Sof. I like that term just because it's different than everybody else's. How many times do people say source, creator, God, I am? There's all these statements that are thrown around now. I get kind of tired of them. So I love the Ein Sof because it's new and it represents something new, which that's what I'm talking about. This is all new. And the moment that we're in right now is the second phase of this beautiful expansion that we started eons and eons ago. In order to create what's coming now, the vastness that was created in the polarity of darkness. Now, darkness is a judgment. The polarities aren't judgeable. There's no judgment. There is no condemnation or judgment in spirit. But we use judgments and descriptions as human beings, as we should, because that's also perfect, to make clarity of things for ourselves. So we are in this moment as a collective, a co-creating, multifaceted version of creation itself. Each and every one of us, every beloved, is in this now moment space. And I'm telling you, it's the most incredible, beautiful space that we have been waiting for eons. Have you heard the term, the age of Aquarius? Yeah, that's a very old term from the first wave back in the 60s of awakened and enlightened beings. But we are actually in Aquarius. And as of the last Lionsgate and the last full moon and the last, we keep just moving and evolving into this energetic place that we're in. But something did just occur that's absolutely permanent. It absolutely will not return for those that are in the frequency that it is being co-created in. There are those that still have things to finish in the polarity and the duality. I accept that as being a truth. There are those that will still be present in a more dark level of the duality, but that's what I'm speaking of. If you could imagine that the beloved who wanted to experience expansion and to be able to give the love that it was, turned that circle and created a mirror. And that first image of seeing self as another self and the expression that came from that and the love affair that came from that. Just imagine falling in love with somebody. You're in an elevator, you're going up to your job, and somebody steps in the elevator and you lock eyes and you have that moment where you're like, oh, this happens. And if it's never happened to you, it's happened in movies. You know what I'm talking about. And that is a human interpretation of exactly what happened frequency-wise. That expansion that started in that now moment, the Big Bang Theory, you can call it anything you want. But that expansion that occurred then created the polarity in what we would consider the darkness to the expanse and the edge of expansion that it could. We have done that as far as it can go, as far as divinity feels it should go. And that's the precipice that we're at. We have now come around full circle and we are circling over the middle of that eternity spiral. Now, we're not going over something and doing it again. The way a spiral works is you come back around and you're up a little bit higher, so the expansion gets a little bit bigger. And then you come back around and you're up a little bit higher, and then the expansion gets bigger. You're still circling over a central vortex, though. A new now. But it's connected to the old now, because that's the cornerstone, if you will. So what has happened through all of the eons, I'm talking back as far as anybody has a archetypal remembrance, is the expansion of, if you could imagine, the dark night sky has been created as far as it can go. Of course, it's going to keep going to create more expansion for more light to fuse into it. That's never going to stop, but let's just keep it as simple as we can for right now. That dark canvas, if you will, has been painted and stretched to the utmost of its ability. And now it is a polarized void for what is the opposite of the dark. What is it? The light. Everything is polarized oneness. This pen, we can agree it's one pen, correct? We have this, it's actually a stylus. We have this little rubber tip, and then we have this metal tip here. If you were to look at it like that, look at it. Just let me put it up to the camera, just like that. You could imagine a million things that might be because you can't see the rest of the pen. If I put it up there like this and we just center it to where the rest of it disappears, once again, you could say it was, look at it, you can see a reflection in it. It could be a mirror, right? But the truth of it is that it's a pen. Is this any more the pen than that's the pen? No, the entire thing is one. It's a totality, but it's polarized. We have the mirror end and the rubber end. Is the rubber any less of the pen? No. Is the mirrored end any less of the pen? No. But this end right here, let's say we'll call that the light, and we'll call this the darkness, just for argument's sake. That end of the polarity has expanded itself as far as it can go for our Earth story. So that's happened. That's happening. It's already happened. So the place that we've reached right now is that moment where you pull the arrow back and you've let go. Now all that light is rushing forward into the expanse of what we judge as humans as undesirable things, the darkness. I can give you some examples of that. Death, sadness, betrayal, harm, abuse, trauma, negativity. You can fill in the blanks with whatever you deem as a human being as a non-desirable aspect. That is like the night sky. Well, now is the time that we're going to fill it with the stars. And can you see the stars or even experience them without the night sky? No, you cannot. And it is another cosmic unfolding and understanding of what's happening in this moment that we are speaking with each other on this 13th day, which it is November 13th. It just happened to line up with the wave spell. The wave spells are numbered, and they just lined up with the days of the month. No accident. So today is the 13th day, the 13th wave spell, the end of an energetic era. And tomorrow, if you're looking at linear time that's fusing with radial time, begins a new level of existence. And that level of existence is no longer to push the parameters into the farthest vast of the darkness, all of those things that we deem as undesirable as human beings in the Earth story. It's been painted, that canvas is painted. Now we've come back around full circle to the very crossover of that infinity symbol where origin is, to begin again. And the polarization of the masculine and the feminine energy has been balanced there as well. That occurred. Once again, it's just the same thing. It's a light and a dark. And this is all about the light and the darkness. And it isn't judged. Not to say that your judgments or your descriptions of it or your own trauma or what you've experienced are negated in any way. Once again, that's what I'm talking about in my notes. Everything in the vast, limitless expression of creation is perfect. This paper right here on my notes is perfect. Look at it. It looks like chicken scratch because my writing sucks. I could say all kinds of things about it. You know, there's a lot of things I could say about this paper, but it is here. It's manifest. It's here. So that means it's perfect, just as it is. The energy of now and the energy of accepting what is the magic of the moment that we're in. And this is totally opposite of everything we've experienced up to this point. So welcome back, Sharon. I see that you say you were back. So that is kind of what I wanted to share today. And let me look at my notes. Yes, and the things that we judge in the light, the other side of the polarity, you know, the mirror end of that pen, which is all one. It's totally one, but it's polarized for the sake of expression. We could judge those things as light, desired outcomes like life, love, compassion, abundance, prime vitality, unity. All of those things are what we would consider as human beings. I consider them desirable, and I have no problem accepting my humanness while living in the now and operating in the magic of now, which is your divinity, which is your Christedness. And the other thing that's occurred personally in my Earth story is the balance of the feminine and the masculine energy. This is a journey I started on 2024, and it has taken me 2 years. We're almost to 2025, and that's the Gregorian calendar, but that's just for us to be cohesively on the same page with each other within the Earth story, which is necessary. And the beautiful thing about where we're at right now, and the thing that I'm going to be speaking most about, is that there are so many individuals that are still in separation mindedness because we're, healing through trauma. You hear people say that person no longer serves me, so I'm choosing to either be in relationship with that person or not. Are they worthy of me and my energy and everything I've come forward? And I'm not negating any of these processes. Trust me, if they're manifest and they're here, they're a beautiful part of the tapestry, and I am behind them 100% and in full acceptance of them. And I love every single aspect of this entire Earth story, even the parts that we would judge as undesirable and not wanted. And we could go really to the outer rims of that, because we've got murder and child abuse, all these things that we verbalize and that we judge as human beings. And I'm not stating judgment in a negative light whatsoever, because this is what we do. This is who we are. Being human is a specific setup, and we are here to embrace that being human with our divinity, as above, so below. This is your soul below. Your nervous system is the portal that connects the as above through the soul below. As a matter of fact, your nervous system is how everything becomes in the manifest outer. And that's another thing that we're going to talk about too, because that's the tree of life. Look it up. Look up and see what your vagus nerve looks like. The vagal nerve system is the tree of life. And there's symbology in that, symbology of everything that is, and that is the way of being. My channel used to be called The Way of Heart. And then for a very long time, it was called The Way of Mary, because the rise of the feminine frequency and the balancing of that polarity, once again, masculine, feminine. Does it make it any different? Is it still one? It is. This is the way of being. This is the mirror of one. And this is the place that we're in. It's a brand new place. It's what we've worked for eons. It's a time to celebrate. It is a time to be excited. And it's very difficult and challenging to do that if you're not looking with the eyes of your divinity, if you're not remembering how to operate in the magic of the now present moment. And that's what I'm going to be here sharing with all of the beloveds. That's, and I don't know what else will come forward. This is mostly about the frequency of my puzzle piece in this story. And I've been shown very clearly that I'm to speak, that my throat chakra and the vibration that comes from my voice is to be shared again. And I haven't shared for a very long time. I used to do it often. And now I'm back in that space where I'm feeling that that's the next phase of things, at least for now. So welcome to the way of being, which includes the masculine and the feminine energy, which includes the dark and the light, which includes everything that's manifest and everything that is not manifest as of yet. Because the quantum field is a limitless field of frequency that does not choose. We, as the creators and the aspect of creator, are the ones that we choose. And how do we choose? Your heart, my beloved. Your heart, your desires, the things that make you feel happy and filled with joy and peaceful, your truth that's within your own story. You are the creator of that, and you're the only one that can create that. The quantum field is ready. It's prime. It's saying, okay, we've pushed the expansion as far as it can go. Come on. What kind of things are we going to fill it with? What are we going to fill it with that is bright and beautiful and wonderful and a more balanced expression of this human story? Will there still be duality? Yes, because if there wasn't, what would we have? We would have this. And it's beautiful. It works. But there's no expression. The only way to have expression is for that beautiful circle to twist itself just enough to have a mirror reflection of itself. And then it can engage itself with expression, which is exactly what we're all doing. And there was an origin moment when that occurred. And it just has replicated itself throughout all of expansion, all of eternity, every part of the galaxy, every part of every galaxy there is, every creation there is. Anything that does exist in the form of a collapsed waveform into matter is here because of that, because of you. And trust me, my beloved, You are the most precious, perfect, incredible, wanted, sought after, not only created, but there's the both and. You're creator and created because you are imbued with creator. You are an aspect of creator. So you are absolutely, phenomenally, ultimately the mirror of one. You are it. You are everything. And you're magnificent. And oh, trust me, especially now when we're able to release that arrow, and we're in this space of filling the vast darkness now with the vast light, the polarization of it, and as full and as challenging as the eons before us have been, is as full and as beautiful as the light that is now joining that expansion. Just think about that for a minute. We have been working and working and working and expanding to this point in order to come back into our creation to fill it with light. And those are the things that are more unity-based, more conscious-based, more communicative, more connective, more inclusive, totally imbued with love. The duality will still be here because without it, we still cannot have expression. Without it, we're just this. We're just this, that little dot, which is not wrong, it's not right. But that little dot saw itself and expanded into polarity, and that's what we're doing. And we've done that in full radial time. And we're back right over the center point of source. And a lot of people believe that this means that we're just going to drop everything here and we're going to sit on a mountaintop and go om in our yoga pants and our hippie shirts and just be at bliss and do nothing else other than be one. We're just going to be one big melded blob of one. Not negating that that is a creation that some people might invest in if that's the desire of their heart. Great, you do you, boo. But like I said in the beginning, oneness is not a void. Oneness is not one point. It isn't that. What's better, that or this with unending, limitless potential for every expression that there is? And see, divinity knew that. Divinity knew that. Divinity knows that. You know that. That's who you are. One way I like to explain it before I go, what time is it? I don't even, it doesn't show a clock on here right now, but I've been at this for about 30 minutes. One way that I love to explain this to people, because this is what this ring was for. I got this in high school. It's the only thing I have left from my past. I've gone through so many journeys, I got nothing. But this is from my high school days. And yes, I still wear it. It still fits me. Yay. But anyways, I love to explain it because I love to hold it up to people when I'm trying to talk to them about these things. We can all agree it's a ring, right? You see that it's a ring. It's my high school ring. There's one stone in it, correct? We both can agree there's one stone. So we're back to that word one. Okay, we all agree there's one stone there. All right, so I'm going to pull it right up to the camera as close as I can get it. And if it'll let me focus, I don't know if it will. Let's get a focus. Okay, I'll move it a little bit. It has a starburst cut on the inside and then it's multifaceted on the outside. As you can see, ooh, there's a good way. Do you see the light? Do you see the lights in there? That's a good way to, that looks good. That's perfect for the analogy. All right, so how many facets do you think you see in there? I don't know. I'm going to try to count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13. I mean, I've tried to count them. They're not countable. Look at, see, there's some more. Do you see them? So there's a multitude of endless facets in that stone, right? We both agree on that. I mean, you have to, I've got something in my eye. I can see it's turning red. I think I have an eyelash sticking in my eye. It's starting to turn red. But anyways, we can all agree that that's one stone, right? But we can also agree that there's all those facets in that stone. Take away one of those facets. Would it be the same stone? Is that possible? It may, to the naked eye, resemble the same stone, but alchemically, no, it would not be the same stone. And that is who we are. That's what this is. We are the one. And each one of us is one of those lights, one of those fractals. And that's what it is, and that's what we're doing. And the time that we're in right now is so amazing. It just can't even tell you how amazing that it is. It is the time of union. And I've been talking about this for years. And it started out as one thing and it has ended up, as another. In the Earth story, it's still very much for me about the polarization between masculine and feminine energy. Those are the first original energies, the first frequencies. When that did this, the first frequencies were masculine and feminine. Now, we could call them something else, black and white, yin and yang, negative, positive, left and right. You can call it whatever you want. It still represents the original frequencies that were like this, that pulled apart just enough to see each other for expression. And that is exactly what's happening. And now we're on what you could maybe call the second wave. My heart tells me very clearly that this literally is the first time we've crossed the radial time center. That the eons that have gone before were to create the expansion in this earth story of darkness. And now is the eons of run where we balance it back out by bringing the light into that sky, that dark sky. We get to create the stars and see them shine. And it is the most amazing moment in time that this story has ever been in. And I myself am quite excited and grateful for it. But it's like any radio station. You can have a horror station on this tuning knob, or you can have a lovely, beautiful orchestra of the most gorgeous music you've ever heard. What station are you going to tune to? And once again, that all comes down to you and being present in this now moment and holding the truth in your heart that everything's perfect and exactly as it should be. Now, for those of you that have a Christian background, which I do, I was a Bible thumping Jesus girl, I've said it many times. In scripture, it said on the seventh day that God looked at his creation and he rested because he called it good. And there's lots of misinterpretation about that. But what that means alchemically, the secret code in that is that creation saw everything as good because it is good, regardless of whether it was dark or light, evil or good, night or day. Everything was being perceived as good because from the 0 point quantum field, everything is perfect. And I know that's a lot to wrap around your human head around, especially if you've experienced things that you did not judge as being that in the moment. And trust me, I have. I've walked through many facets of these darker polarities in order to carry them across the threshold, which is now I understand that. But prior to that, trust me, my loves, I'm not negating your process. I'm not negating your pain. I'm not negating the pain you could be going through right now as we speak. It's perfect just the way that it is, not meaning that I would want it for you. I want the light for everyone. I want the balance of this expansion to occur, more abundance, more, embodiment, more brilliance, more love, more all those things. That's what I want. But I'm also fully aware of the scope of both ends of the polarity. And I want you to understand that I understand that too, because I've been there, I've walked it. So we're not negating those things. We're integrating them back into holy self. And when you do that, when you accept those things that you used to judge as being bad, even painful. I mean, literally right now, it's not happening right now, I'm thankful, but for the last 7 days, I've had rib heads out that just will not solve themselves. And it's been excruciating pain. I haven't been able to sleep. This is what's happened in my physical body, but my present now moment has lived in acceptance of it, with the pain, with the discomfort, with the desire to not have it. And I accept all those human emotions around it. And I stay present in the now moment with it and allow it to be what it is. And then I fast and pray. And what that means is I fast, I pull my attention off of those ribs, off of that pain, and get into the now moment and be present. And that's what prayer is being present. That's why scripture was set up that way, to get you to go in your closet or go to the mountaintop. It's to sit for 5 minutes and be present in the magic now moment. This is what it is. This moment right now is all there is. And everything's contained. It's all contained within it. This is the magic moment. And all we have to do is remember how to be here. And this is the way of being the mirror of one. So thank you for joining me today. I want to tell you that I love you. And I just want to encourage you to understand that you are so supported and so loved. Beyond your wildest dreams are you loved. And that love is 6 to 8 inches below your chin. If you're not experiencing it, pull yourself away from everything, go in here and just ask the question, where are you? And you watch everything come flooding and running to you. I promise. It's all waiting there for that moment of you being in the now moment and getting still with self. God giving love to God's self. Have a wonderful day. I love you, and I will be coming back again. I don't know when, because weeks can go by for me, because this whole time thing is very strange. But I'm going to do my best to at least produce something once a week. I don't promise anything, though, because 3 weeks can go by as a minute for me, and I'm like, oh, I was supposed to do that video. I only did it today because I knew that energetically I needed to complete it within this wave spell. So I did, and I have. And before I leave, there's something very personal, very internal that won't make sense to anyone except for the one it's supposed to make sense for, and it's an energetic expression. So I'm speaking to that frequency, to that space that I know. That's part of my story. And this is my channel. This is my earth character. And I am energetically opening the gate at the end of the bridge. It's already open. I'm just putting that out there. It's just for energy's sake, frequency's sake, purpose. And I believe that the large reason why I'm asked to share the frequency of my voice again is for this reason, because this is the gate. And it's what you're looking for. So just so you know, I love you all very much, and I will hopefully talk to you very soon. Now, there was a question. Oh, hello, Mr. Glover. I see you there. I wanted to answer this because it said, okay, because it was funny. I just want to see. Well, it was funny to me. I'm sorry. Talk about your father. Okay, it says, I don't know what that means. Talk about your father. And I think that once again, I think that refers to a spiritual father, like Father in heaven. And so I did talk about my father, father, mother, masculine, feminine energy, all of it's in there. And it looks like somebody, who created God? Okay, that was the question I was looking for. Who created God? God is a ism. The word God, religion, the whole idea that God is something outside of us that we speak to and we reach for and we ask to govern our lives. And we, a lot of people do beautiful things in their relationship with God. I know I had an incredible relationship with my Heavenly Father, but my heart was true, and it's what led me here. So we created God. We created it. It was a collective co-creation. And we called it something, and see, there's did you hear that confirmation? We created God. And ultimately, we are God in the terms of what you're, the creator of all things. Like I said with the ring, God is the one, fractals inside. There's no separation. Yeshua said it, I and my Father are one. So we created God as a theology, as an idea. It was an imagination. And we put a crown on it. We created religions out of it. We made all these different gods. There's mythic gods. There's Zeus and Apollo, and there's so many things. There's, the Anunnaki. There's, there's so many aspects of that. We created it. You and me. Us, the Holy One. That's who. Have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you very soon.